What's up, Bars Gang? Welcome back to another episode of Dropping Bars, and I have a gentleman here with me today that I know for a fact will drop some major bars on you. I have with me Mr. Jelani Glean, the one, the only. Jelani, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Kimron. It's a pleasure. I've been a fan of the shows from day one. I'm always tuned in weekly to see who you have popping in next. There's always something to learn. A lot of bars been dropping, and I myself have benefited from some of the information being shared. So it's a pleasure being on.
Oh man, thanks. I'm here blushing. Thanks, appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, so Jelani, for the person that don't know who Jelani Glean is, who is Jelani Glean?
A humble servant of the people. I'm someone who grew up in a community. I hail out of the village of Shantymill in St. Patrick. I am the son of Neville Glean and also the son of Juliet Paria Glean. I've been an enthusiast of sports. I've been in sports all my life. From school playing days into coaching for a long period of time across multiple disciplines, basketball, football in particular. I'm always passionate about football and the development of football. Athletics, cricket to a lesser extent. So I'm someone who have a passion for outdoor contact sports. Don't mind you, I do enjoy to the maximum my dominoes and all foods, that type of thing, the things you do with the boys. So I enjoy those things as well. But I'm someone who's always been in a part of community life, and always given my time and my resources whichever way I can towards developing or contributing to anything within my community, whichever community I'm part of. So, now I'm very happy to, be in a position where for many years I've been I started my career as a teacher and moved on into business since then. I guess as we go through more of your questions, you're going to get to know a little bit more about that. But that's really who I am in a nutshell. I'm a very humble person. I'm a man of the block. I'm a product of the block, to be quite specific. I'm still a person who drink what I drink and eat what I eat. My favorite foods are the ones that are cooked on the block. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
That's. I feel like I'm hearing me kind of reflected in you, because I am also a product of the block. You pass through paradise, and the guys will tell you, that's Kimron's block right here.
Yes.
Great.
Correct.
So tell me, what do you do? Like right now, what do you do?
All right. So right now, I run my own company. I'm the CEO of and owner of Legacy House, which we basically are engaged in consultations. We do promotions, promotional events. We do event management and that type of thing. So companies, for example, may have desire to, they may not have the resources in-house to get a marketing product moving. They may need someone, or they may have personnel to do it, but doesn't have the competence. So we may put together the marketing plan and have their personnel execute it, or we can plan and execute as well, just the same. They may, a lot of times companies do need assistance with execution. They don't have the time nor the resources or the person to give all the attention to detail. That is going to help them to maximize the sale, because at the end of the day, you're pushing a message to really get a result. Whether that there is a communication side part of this, where let's say, for example, you want to push a PR type messaging as opposed to a sales driven message. One that is going to earn you goodwill with your customers and so forth, your communities, versus one that is really aimed at driving sale and creating customer loyalty. We also can assist with that. And lately, I have been really blessed to have a group of young persons partnering with me, and I'm currently the chairman of the board of directors of a newly formed NGO that is called the Dream Smile Foundation. Okay. And we recently launched like in August, and we were able to already do some school supply give backs to students from the Chantinor School that were successful in the recent CPA exam and are now in secondary school. We're able to assist them with some school supplies and so forth. So we're very happy about that, and we're looking forward towards Christmas and what we can do again to contribute to our communities. But we're thinking bigger term than that. We would like to get access to some of those grant funding that's available throughout the international organization, so that we can even impact more on our communities, especially in poverty alleviation, the impact of global warming and so on our environment and that type of thing. So we want to impact a little bit more in some of these events, but of course you must have the resources to tap into that. So that's kind of where we're driven now at the moment.
Okay, great. And I mean, if you want to, I know about you is that you're a community man, and I mean, it's reflected in everything you've said thus far. Mm-hmm. But I also know that you've had a successful trajectory in business, in corporate Grenada, mm-hmm. right? Tell me, what was that journey like? Where did it start? What was the journey like? And I know it culminated into you having your own business, which I mean, naturally is a natural next step for you. But prior to that, tell me what that journey was like as you're experiencing in corporate Grenada.
I've had a very, very unique experience, because I've never, my initial career path was not one of business, to be quite honest. It was one of medicine. And all through my secondary school life, my TAMCC, all my subject areas were science subjects, and that's the direction in which I was going. And I made a self-discovery between that and moving into teaching. I discovered that because I received a scholarship to Cuba to go do my medicine studies, and I couldn't accept it because it was around that time I discovered that weirdly, it's a very weird thing, that whatever disinfectant and so on that they use at the hospitals, somehow it has an adverse effect on me and makes me feel very depressed. And I couldn't envision myself doing a career path that, every day I have to get up and ask myself, do I really want to go to work, or do I have to go to that place? I want to be exciting about, my job and where I'm going to my career. And that really was a shocker for me. But I think the discovery came at the right time, because I was really prepared, all geared to go along that path. And somehow I think I associate that smell with negative things that happen at the hospital, death and sickness and so forth. And it just was not it just gave me that feeling of depression, and I didn't want to deal with that at all. So I moved into teaching. I was teaching sciences for a while, and I taught for a very long time. I taught for around 12 years. Okay. And then I had the opportunity via Miss Emmeline Pay. She at that point in time was coordinator at the Ministry of Youth, and she started off with getting persons like myself involved in the summer programs. So I would go in and dedicate my time and teach the young students during summer programs. And then an opportunity came up to learn how to write business plans and so on. That's the YBiz. They had this program where they teach you how to write your business plan and essentially run a small business type of thing. And I took the opportunity to go in and learn about that, and it excited me. Somehow I excelled at it pretty quickly. I ended up teaching the program after that. Okay. And for myself, it really gave me an insight into the business world, the corporate world, and it was a place I was very comfortable and wanted to advance my expertise in that area. So then I went into St. George's University and got my degree there in marketing. And from there, I was blessed. You hear me? Was blessed to get into the Grenada Bottling Company Limited. I was able to go in there and work with brands like Coca-Cola and so on, which are world-renowned brands. And that really gave me the type of international experience that persons who getting into businesses don't usually have the opportunity to get. So I was able to work with, other marketing personnel throughout the Coca-Cola franchise across the world. From there, I moved on to the Grenada Bottling Company, where I was the brand manager for Carib for a number of years. And that again came with its own unique challenges. We were in a period where the Carib sales were declining, and we wanted to revamp and reboot that. And they felt that I was the right person to challenge in that direction, and was able to take on that challenge, quite successfully. And it was really another learning experience working with another brand now in the still in the beverage industry, but more now on the alcohol side, the party side. It's kind of different from just your traditional non-alcoholic beverages that I was exposed to. And I really enjoyed that. I learned a lot from my experiences there. Then I moved on to managing the National Stadium for a period of time. That in itself, although it has its challenges, but that in itself was not the challenge that I was looking for me personally. It was something that I was very comfortable doing, and it was within the parameters that surrounded it. Didn't really allow me to grow and to challenge myself in the way that I wanted to. So then I had the opportunity now to move over to Flow Grenada. Again, another type of international experience, and working in the telecoms industry is very different now from working in the beverage industry. Although the same marketing principles would apply, but you really have to learn the industry and the nuances of it to really get into the psyche of the customers there, and to be, the competition there is very different. And it's very, very important. So I had that experience again working with the international company, because as you know, Flow Grenada Cable and Wireless, Flow is owned now by Cable and Wireless by Liberty International. So I've been having the experience of working with people across Central America, South America, North America, Korea, Pakistan, and the list goes on and on and on, working together to resolve, a lot of the challenges that come across, our way. At Flow, I must say though, what challenged me the most, and probably where I grew the most, I was also responsible for communication. I also managed the communication arm of locally, and that for me was a new. Although I interacted with the media, I didn't prep a lot of things for the media in terms of corporate communication, not just marketing communication, but corporate communication. And that gave me, some opportunity to grow in that capacity and to learn a little bit more and get into that a bit. And it really helped me also in my communication and so on within the marketing side of the business. So that in a nutshell is where I've been. And now I've been brave enough to make this the final step and to take all that experience and knowledge and step into my own and see how I can now grow and create my own legacy and leave something behind for my children to continue.
Absolutely, man. Your journey has been fantastic. I can see some of my journey in yours. But yeah, kudos to you and congratulations now for jumping on the entrepreneurship train and doing your own thing. You've gotten all this experience from all the companies that you've worked with, and now you can take that and build your own brand. So tell me something. I'm pretty sure over the years, I know you spoke about different challenges and so that might have arisen in the different places, but was there maybe what was like one major challenge or obstacle or something that you faced throughout your journey, and how did you overcome that?
I would say it's not just one challenge throughout the journey, but it has been a consistent challenge, especially for persons like me who moved from one company to the next over time. It's that of gaining the trust and confidence of your superiors. Every time you make a change, you have a new superior, and persons are really comfortable with people that they are familiar with, that they've had experience with. A person may hear of your expertise and how well you've done and be optimistic about your potential, but that's where it ends. It's potential. What they really want to see is, as I said, the proof is in the pudding. So they want to work with you. They want to see what you can produce, what you can do, until they can now give you that space and that room so that you can spread your wings and really soar. And from day one, that has been a challenge for me coming out of the university, getting into the bottling company, for example. You're talking about, yes, I may have had great grades and so forth, but all of that, as I said, is potential.
Right.
You're coming in now to work with a world-renowned brand, a company that has been established in Grenada here for over 50 years. How do you come in and bring in some of that new learning, that new energy, that new vibe that can now take that company from where it is into a higher realm, into a greater level of success, without stepping on toes, without being, condemned, criticized. You will meet challenges, and you will always meet people who challenge you. So that has been, I would say, as you move from one place to another, and different companies, different places, it takes a different amount of time to really gain the confidence. But what I can say is that I was able to successfully get that confidence from every company that I've worked with over the period of time, to really be able to do me and bring my benefits to the table and to really to grow and walk along with them. And what has helped me, I would say, is speaking up, really and truly. When you get into businesses, remember, it's not just your area that you have responsibilities for, but there are other areas of the business that also need to function and they interact with you. So if you're in a setting, if you're making decisions, if you're planning, and you don't understand why something is being done or the way something is being done or why there's insistence on it, speak up and ask. You may seem incompetent for the moment, but if you ask questions every day for the next 6 months, guess what? In 6 months' time, you have had learning that somebody else will not be able to have. And not only that, the learning that you have to be able to apply it. Now you understand, okay, even though I want to do this, this interacts with production here. It interacts with, the planning, the bottling. It interacts with distribution there. It interacts with the media over here. How do I look at the parameters, the framework for each area, the limitations that I would have, and come up with the best possible solution that will help us to gain the greatest success. So by the time you present what you're trying to do or what you would like to do, there are far less questions.
Right.
Persons now appreciate you understanding the limitations that they have and how they can contribute meaningfully to what you're doing. So, I think that has been my ploy. I don't take anything personally, to be quite honest. Sometimes we are all human beings. We have some bosses that are a little bit more emotional than others. They do work under a lot of pressure. You have to understand that as well. Yes. And understand that sometimes things may be said in the heat of the moment. It may not be said in the most appropriate way. You can't be thin-skinned. And if something really bothered you, you choose a time when things are calmer and you return to the person and say, hey, that came to me. This was the impression I got. This is the understanding I got from the situation. But I would have much rather you rushed across to me in this way. This is the kind of person I am. I felt a little bit hurt by it or a little bit embarrassed, in front of the colleagues and so forth. And persons you'll find more often than not are always willing to work with you and help you to improve yourself and grow. And that's all that you want to do in any business that you work in. You want the opportunity to not only contribute, but you want to personally grow.
And one of my past guests actually made the point that the lesson that she learned was to not take things personal. So pretty much the point that you were just making. And I know, like, while I'm listening to you, I'm like, well, you dropping some major bars while in that part there, I'm wondering, okay, do I need to go down that road and ask you the next question I want to ask you? But I'm still going to do it because I want to know if there's 3 lessons that you learned along the way. I know you mentioned you mentioned some things like what we just said, not taking things personal and so while you were talking. But if there were like 3 like to the point lessons that you learned along the way in your journey from where you began as a science student with the aim of studying medicine to working in corporate Grenada to now being an entrepreneur, what would those lessons be that you can share with our viewers?
Well, lesson number 1, I would say, is be a team player. I've always been one who led teams, but not led teams in a way that, in a very autocratic way. As a matter of fact, if I'm executing events and so on out there, you probably will not ever consider me the team leader, because I'm not the one to always be backing persons. I like to give persons the opportunity to take on responsibilities for a function and to excel at it. If there is a challenge, then you come to me. But I want you to have and gain your own experiences and to grow. And that's how we all grow. But being a team player does not necessarily mean you also just group think because the team wants to do this, you agree to do it. No, right. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be a team player. Respect your colleagues. That's important because you need them to work along with you to achieve your ultimate goal and objective. Respect your position. You're there for a function and for a purpose. Execute that well. You respect your company. Your company has values. Your company has a position. You have to respect that as an individual. And once you represent that company, you have to put yourself in the place and the position to represent those values well. And you do all of those things, best of all, by doing the work. Whatever your position is, whatever your career is, it comes with some work. Do the work. It shows respect to everybody and everything you do throughout your company. That's one. I would also say focus on solutions, not on the problems. Right? Given the available resources and the parameters that you may have to work within. Because somebody working in company A and company B, or even though you're competitors, you may not have the same resources. You may not have the same limitations in one company that exists in the other. So you basically assess what your parameters are, you look at the resources available to you, and you focus on that to find the solution to get you to the outcome that you desire. And you don't sit and focus on what the problem is. We know the problem is the problem, and it will continue to be the problem until there is a solution.
Yeah,
focus on the solution.
Yeah, that for me is a major bar. That's a major bar. I'm gonna give a drum roll there. That's like a major.
Well, here's my third bar for you. This might be a little bit unique for you. I would say don't laugh, don't cry, don't celebrate before you learn, right? There are things that occur within your industry, some failures, some embarrassments, some things. It may not happen to you personally. Don't laugh before you learn what transpired, how it transpired, how you could avoid it, and how you being placed in a situation like that could come out on top of it shining like a star before you laugh.
Wow.
Don't get into a situation and everything is down on you, the pressure is down on you, and you find yourself wallowing in bitter tears and being depressed and brokenhearted over it. That's not going to change your circumstance. What's going to change your circumstance is the work that you're going to put in, the solutions that you're going to come up with, the decisions that you are going to make. Remember, diamonds are made under great heat and pressure, but they're very precious. Right? And, before you celebrate any accomplishment or achievement you have for too long, you first want to learn, why did I succeed? What about what I did made me successful? How can I grow on that success? Because guess what? Every level of success you have only sets the bar for where everybody's aiming at next. So by the time they get there, you need to have something else that's going to set you apart from your competitors. So the successes that you have, immediately, yes, you appreciate it, you feel good in yourself about it. I'm not saying don't do that. But before you go on a nice long parade and enjoying yourself about it, try to assess it. Try to understand what are the things you're doing that, because you may find that I was very fortunate to get through this because the environment at the point in time supported that decision. But given a different environment, this decision would not have flied at all. So, you try to learn. Learning is what is most important. And, don't be afraid to fail because that's where you learn the most. I always learn more from failure than I do from success.
From success. That's Listen, you are right. That last bar, like that is the bar. Like that's major. And the thing about it is, I appreciate you saying that, because I've never heard anybody like say it succinctly the way you did. I mean, I've heard different aspects of it, especially the last part you said, we learn more from failure than we do from success and so, but the way that you package it together, that's major. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so as we wrap up, if there is one, and I ask everybody that, like one wisdom that you can live with the young people across the Caribbean region, what will that one nugget of wisdom be?
I would say, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and your decision making. Despite the consequences, despite the outcomes, believe in yourself and believe in your decision making. I'll explain. You believe in yourself because no one else is going to do it for you, no matter which place you're going to work. As a matter of fact, the workplaces you're going to work, you're going to find that there are persons that are going to challenge you more than they're going to believe in you. But because of your belief in yourself, it's what's going to spill over, and persons are going to be attracted to that self-confidence that you have, and are going to lure themselves towards you, want to follow you, and want to be attracted to that. And when it comes to your decision making, you have to find your decision making process that works for you. And once you're confident in your process and you make a decision, you stand by it. No, what's going to happen? Either the decision is going to be a good one, you got the consequences that you desired, the outcomes that you desired, or it's not. It's going to be a horrible decision. And it's going to take you so far off the outcomes you wanted that you're going to wonder, what was I thinking? But there is your opportunity to learn. And those learning moments, those opportunities give you the greatest insights into success in the future that is coming. You gather enough of those opportunities, it gives you the experience. When a circumstance pops up, when everybody looks at the obvious, you're going to say, hey, let's pump the brakes a little. Did you check off this? Did you check off that? How are you so certain that you're making this? Are you making that decision because this is what you like, or is it that what our customers requested? You're going to start asking the necessary questions, because and some persons are going to be a little bit offended or a little bit taken back by the questions that you're going to ask, because they figure that you kind of putting them under the microscope. But it's your experience that's going to give you the ability to see through that microscope in the first place.
Right. Awesome.
So I would say that will be my gem. Believe in yourself. Self-confidence goes a long way. And people always try to doubt you along the way. Once your heart is in the right place, you're passionate about what you're doing, believe in yourself. You are going to make mistakes. Nobody got to the top by not making mistakes. As a matter of fact, the persons right at the top probably made more mistakes than anybody else further down the ladder.
And that's why they got there, right?
Exactly. All right.
Awesome. Listen, man, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you stopping by and dropping those gems, dropping those bars. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in for another week again of Dropping Bars. We were speaking with Mr. Jelani Glean, and stay tuned next week, Tuesday, when I will drop another episode for you with another amazing guest on Dropping Bars. Thank you.